Welcome back to Rich Hatch Homes, where our goal is to provide you value as your Iowa City area real estate experts. I'm Tommy Shore.
I'm Rich Hatch.
And today we're going to talk to you about buyer's agency and buyer's agreement. The agreement part is something that went into effect July 1st of 2024. So if you purchased a home prior to that, you may not be familiar with the buyer's agreement part of what we're going to talk about today, but that's what we're here to explain to you. But before we do that, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit all those buttons so you can keep up to date on the latest Rich Hatch Homes content and the value that we're bringing to you. All right, so buyer's agreement has been in place since July 1st, 2024, but tell us about the differences between agency and buyer's agreement.
Yeah, absolutely. Agency is something that's always been required. It outlines our responsibilities to our clients. We must act in the best interest of our clients, and we must act honestly. Now, the buyer's agreement negotiates compensation for the agent. Typically, we see this written into the purchase agreement, and it is negotiated and paid out of the seller's proceeds.
Yeah, but Rich, there are times where the sellers may not agree to that term or may not want to pay the buyer's agent compensation out of their proceeds. So they may counter or respond to us accordingly, at which time it just continues to be negotiated as part of getting a contract that works for both sides.
That's right, Tommy. And we see this as a team effort. So as we negotiate on your behalf, we just ask that you negotiate on our behalf as well. Now, with this, we're not going to get in your way of buying your dream home. We're working together and we're working hard to make sure that you're satisfied in this transaction.
Absolutely. Now, we've talked a little bit about what this is, but there's some more things that we need to talk about. So there are two things that we cannot do without having this buyer's agreement in place. The first thing we cannot do is show you a house that is not our listing. The law states that we cannot take you to step foot inside a house to look at it with the prospect of purchasing it if we don't have this buyer's agreement in place. So whether that means you sign it electronically ahead of time or in the driveway or on the sidewalk before we go in, that's something that has to be in place. And the second thing we can't do is write a purchase agreement. So we talked a little bit about terms of purchase agreements and stuff like that. We cannot write one of these for you legally if we don't have the buyer's agreement in place.
Another important thing about this agreement is there is a start date and an end date.
Absolutely, and there are two types of agreements. The first being exclusive, which says you sign an exclusive buyer's agreement with an agent. You can only work with that realtor for the life of that agreement until the end date, unless a cancellation is sent.
That's right, but we don't do that here at Rich Hatch Homes. Instead, Tommy, you and I, when we sign an agreement with you, it is a non-exclusive agreement, which means you are welcome to work with another realtor in this process. And the reason we do this is because we want to win your service. We want you to be comfortable. We don't want you to feel locked in with us. If we're not responding to you or we're not getting back to you in a timely manner, we want you to feel comfortable reaching out to somebody else. But we are going to win your service over.
And to that point, we don't want to lock somebody in on the front end. That's an intimidating thing to say you're going to work with me for the next X number of months and you don't have any choice about it unless we do some more paperwork. So that's why we do non-exclusive agreements. But all this, hopefully you've learned more about buyer's agency and buyer's agreement. It can be new to some people that haven't gone through that process before if it's been a little bit since they have purchased their last home. So thank you for watching Rich Hatch Homes. If at any point you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us. We are happy to walk through any of the steps with you and explain more if that is what you need or that is what you want. So again, don't forget to like, subscribe, follow us, and we'll see you next time on Rich Hatch Homes.